Hi and welcome to the 5-Minute Business Boost, where you get to choose your 5-minute investment. I'm your host, Sam Hicks, and I'll be discussing topics under the headings of business development, marketing, photography, and much more. Well, hello. Today I'm talking about CRMs. So, as you know, running a small business often means you're wearing those hats, you're juggling, and you're really... I think sometimes you're on the back foot because one minute you're chasing invoices, next minute you're posting on Facebook, and then suddenly you're remembering you still haven't followed up with that potential customer from last week, or even a follow-up phone call, that they've asked you to get back to them on something. So enter the humble CRM, or what we call a customer relationship management system. I like CRM because it's easier for me to remember. Now, before you roll your eyes, because I know some of my listeners are going to go, oh, God, no, Sam, please don't suggest another piece of software. Well, let me say this. A CRM doesn't have to be expensive, complicated, or something only the really big businesses use. In fact, if you're dealing with just 20 new contacts a month, the right CRM can help you and me, more importantly, I suppose, in some aspects, stay on top of opportunities without blowing the budget. Now, why do CRM matter? So it might seem a bit of overkill to set up software just to manage a handful of new names each month. After all, you've got notebooks, sticky notes, maybe a spreadsheet. You've got notes in your phones, you're writing on fridges, God knows what you're doing, but you're keeping a lot of notes. And what happens with doing that when you're juggling all those balls and writing all these notes in different spaces, things are going to slip through the cracks. You're going to forget to follow up and you're going to look like an idiot. And trust me, I do that very well, quite regularly. And then opportunities will quite often just slip through your fingers because they weren't tracked properly. Or somebody will come into your life and then say, oh, I'm going to follow up in 6 months, and you don't write yourself a note or a reminder in your phone. And, you end up looking a bit silly or feeling a bit silly. And I think at the end of the day, we've got to use tech if it's there. And I think for me and for a lot of my business clients, a CRM solves those headaches because it gives you one central place to store all the contact info, track conversions, set reminders, and in some cases even send emails or create simple reports. And in a way, it's a digital assistant who never forgets. So when you do, it can remind you. Now, what to look for in a CRM. Now, I get asked this a lot of times from clients who are juggling like us all. And they say, well, okay, Sam, what are we going to have as our criteria, or what's on the list? So at the end of the day, to start off, you don't need all the bells and whistles, and you can focus on a couple of basics. Contact storage, names, phone numbers, emails and notes, reminders and follow-ups so nobody gets forgotten, and simple pipelines so that you can see where each lead or client is at. Email integration would be a good thing so you can send and track messages, and you really want it low cost, ideally free, or under $25 Australian a month would be fabulous, and it is fabulous if you can do that. But you also need that room to grow. So if you suddenly do land a big contract, or you need more horsepower, or suddenly 5 new clients walk in and you're like, whoa, you've got it there. You've got the room to grow. So what are the top contenders? And I suppose when I used my little AI assistants to help me research for this podcast and to do, all of that research regarding what the CRM options are, I sort of said, what are they in Australia? What are they globally? Blah, blah, blah. What are the popular ones? What are the good ones that have got reviews? There was quite a bit of criteria that I had for my little AI assistants to go out and find. And they came up with 4. Now, the first one is HubSpot CRM, and that is actually free forever with limits. So HubSpot is a safe, very popular option. The free plan is incredibly generous. You can track contacts, manage deals, and integrate email without paying a cent. And perfect if you want to dip your toe in and have a bit of a go. Now, the pros are unlimited contacts on a free plan, lots of integrations, clean interface. The cons, though, the moment you want advanced automation or reporting, you will find yourself looking at steep monthly fees. Now, for my weekly disclaimer, I've used HubSpot for many years, both at their top tier and bottom tier options. I like it. It's robust. It's easy to use. And sometimes they make changes to the navigation. I get a little annoyed because, I don't like change. I'm sort of older now, but I get it, and it is innovation. And I think to myself, well, Sam, it is innovation, so suck it up. But their options are pretty awesome that they're coming up with. Anyway, I digress. Number two is Bigin by Zoho. So this one is simple and affordable. Think of Bigin like Zoho CRM's little sibling. It's stripped down, it's easy to use, and it costs around $15 and under per month for paid plans. I think the cheapest one is about $11. The free plan is basic, but it's very workable if you only need contact tracking and pipelines. So the pros, it's simple, it's cheap and less overwhelming than the larger CRMs. The cons, of course, like everything, if you need more advanced features, you will quickly outgrow it. And it does. You outgrow it fairly quickly. Number 3, EngageBay. Now, this is where CRM meets marketing. So EngageBay is a bit of an all-rounder. Even on the free plan, you can manage up to 250 contacts, send 1,000 emails a month, and even dabble with landing pages and a live chat feature, which is really cool for some businesses. Paid plans start around that $19 per user or per month. It's a pretty standard platform price at the moment. Pros, it combines CRM, email marketing, basic automation in one place, which is pretty cool. But the free plan can cap your growth, and support is overseas. It's not localized, and I'll actually get back to that. Number 4 is Less Annoying CRM, the no fuss option. So I really love its name. And it's a very simple CRM. It's lightweight, it's distraction free. It costs about $23 Australian per month. There's a flat rate and there's no free plan. It's very easy to use. There's no bloat. There's excellent support. Even though it's US based, they're pretty responsive. There's no marketing features, no free options, just contacts, pipelines and reminders. So suppose you could think about it as a no fuss option. Now, while we're talking about all of this, please don't forget data safety. So looking after customer privacy in 2025 is more important than ever. And our businesses here in Australia have to comply with the Privacy Act 1988, which sets the rules on how customer data is collected, stored, and then shared. So before choosing a CRM, you have to make sure that it offers strong data encryption, provides multi-factor authentication, can't even say it, the old 2FA, and user access controls. And you've got to be able to back it up and restore your data easily too, just in case something happens. And if at all possible, make sure the data is actually hosted in Australia, or it's transparent about where it is actually stored and how it's accessed. Even the cheapest CRM should give you those protections, and you need to ask that question before you commit. So if it's not clear on their website, reach out to them and ask them the question. Have a bit of a snoop around, do some review searching and see what's happening as far as the data goes. Keeping up with tech. So we're sort of getting used to AI and automation, and some of the bigger CRMs are really for big companies with big budgets, but there's a lot of new players. They're offering free or low cost. They're rolling out smart features. They're doing automated follow-ups and reminders, and basic analytics are all embedded. And this will actually help you spot trends or opportunities, especially with those AI embedments. That was a big word for me. They're not essential to get started, but they can save you some hours per month. So don't be afraid to experiment with these tools as your business grows. Now, local support matters. One frustration I hear small businesses all the time, I think it's one of the biggest whinge or pain points I hear is that, we get all these apps, Sam, and we love them, but I've come against this problem and the support is upside down, back to front, meaning that our hours don't align with their hours. And we've got to get a support ticket, then we've got to wait 2 days before we get a response, blah, 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 blah. So if you're going to get stuck on a setup step or a technical question and, you're sick of waiting for days for a reply from an overseas help desk, some CRMs like HubSpot have Australian partners and resellers, while others like Bigin and EngageBay lean heavily on global support or user forums. Now, if you'll need a helping hand to get started, you may not be as confident and cocky as I am, you need to really probably check out who offers local Australian support or certified partners in your state, because sometimes paying a little bit more is worth it just for that extra peace of mind. So, while HubSpot and Bigin and EngageBay and Less Annoying CRM are the cheapest and the simplest, there are other players worth a mention. So Monday CRM is from about $10 a user per month, and it's really good for teams who also want project management in the same tool. Pretty good one. SalesMate's from about $23 Australian users per month. More advanced workflows are included, and it has automation if you need to streamline sales processes. Now, the last one in this little stack is Creato CRM, and that's about $25. So it's getting up there. User per month. It's a bigger system. It's flexible, though, if you're looking for advanced customization, and that might be the ticket. Now, you may never need these. You may never have heard them before, but it's good to know what's out there if your business is going to take off, or it is taking off and you need a bit more horsepower and a bit more, I suppose, support in that whole rounding up and keeping everything centralised. So a quick decision guide. And sometimes I only get a few minutes notice when people ring me and go, Sam, what about, or who do I think about for this, I suppose, answer to my question about who I should go for. So if you want free and safe, probably HubSpot. If you want cheap and simple, probably Bigin. If you want CRM plus marketing, can't go much further than EngageBay. If you want it really simple, no bells and whistles, Less Annoying CRM will be the answer. And then if you want local integrations or project tools, Monday CRM and Sales and or SalesMate. So as I'm wrapping this episode up, CRMs are just not for big businesses. Us little small businesses can use them too. And the cheapest ones on the market today are designed for small teams, even solo operators such as moi, and can stop you from losing a truckload of valuable opportunities. I think I was supposed to say truckload, but I said truckload. But I suppose it is about, not losing track of those truckload of valuable opportunities. For less than a price of a takeaway pizza, you can have a system that makes sure no lead gets left behind, and I think that's good money, well spent. Now, just make sure that, in this year and leading into next, that you make sure the privacy law, the cyber threats and the smarter tech is shaping up to work how you want it. And really, you've got to make sure that if you're choosing your CRM, it's not just about saving time. You need to protect your customers and positioning your business for the future. Because at the end of the day, the most expensive CRM is the one you don't use, and the best one is the one that quietly makes your business life easier. So I hope this helped. If you are delving into the land of CRM and you come across one that I haven't mentioned or one that I have and you're loving it, feel free to reach out and tell me which one you're using and why, because this helps me when other small businesses such as yourself ask me for referrals or, Sam, what do you think about? Because I learn just as much from my clients as they learn from me. Anywho, I hope your day is fabulous, and remember, anything is possible in business, especially in the northeast of Victoria. Cheerio. Thanks for listening to the 5-Minute Business Boost. For more information, follow me on socials, sign up for my newsy, or check out my website to see how we can work together to reach your small business goals. Remember, anything is possible, especially in the northeast of Victoria. Until next time, cheerio.